Welcome back to the KBA. So the episode's going to be a little different. We are going to do this season to get through the 2019, to get through pretty much the 2010s. We'll be in the start of the 2020-2021 season after this. And then we are going to go through NBA history or KBA history as a whole. I know I said I would do that last episode, and I was going to, but then I realized we're going to go through each team too and kind of just go through what each team has done. We've done this for 37 years now. After this, it'll be the 37 years. Maybe we should have saved it for the 40-year mark, but 37 years of the KBA history. We're not done by any means. We're going to keep going. I think I came to a conclusion that we are going to simulate even like the young players' careers. We're not going to stop in 2025. We're going to just keep going until we have pretty much an auto-generated league. And then we are going to review everything one last time at the end of that. Obviously, we'll still do our every 5-year thing, every 10-year thing, but we're going to just get through this season, and I will be back with the playoffs. I feel so awful for this team. This team is literally the 15th seed. They are not the worst team in the league, actually. They are the 4th worst team in the league because the East is trash, but Dwight Howard, another season-ending injury for the Spurs. So that they're going to give another good top whatever pick away to the Celtics. This team looks not great anymore after they let Dante Green go. This team doesn't look good anymore. Pretty much once they got rid of Dennis Schroeder, the Lakers haven't been able to do much. The Raptors are 31-7. The Celtics are, I guess, getting better, but I mean, it's a fun lineup. You talk about Lonzo, Luka, Zion. They traded Hassan for Brook Lopez. They offered it. I let it go through. But they're still not great. But yeah. So a different Toronto Raptor wins MVP this year. Zion averaged almost 24 as a rookie. How many minutes have they had him playing? Not even 30s. Wow. Okay. Wade Cage is 6th man of the year. ADDPOY. Someone took it away from Braun. Luka gets most improved player. And then, 68-14. That's crazy. Kyle Lowry still first team. 32 for him. Giannis, 24-9. Jokic, 27-7. Curry. Dame we saw, but they're not good because Dwight Howard had a season-ending injury. They have back-to-back years of season-ending injuries for them. Booker, Kyrie. You saw Luka. Julius Randle is a dog. And Embiid. Defensive teams. Let's look at some of our rookies. Ja, about 21 off the bench per 36. Kobe White, 12. Kevin Porter, 9. Tyler Hero was 8. Rui, 5. Yeah. We've got 1-seeded Pelicans, 1-seeded Raptors, 2-seeded Warriors, 2-seeded Pacers. So that Curry trade's paying off. Harden is the 4th seed as well. So those teams look good, are having better. Although Portland looks like they might get eliminated. They do. No crazy upsets on out west. No real crazy upsets. I mean, the 5 seed won in both sides. Wow, the Pacers dethroned the Pistons to make their conference final. Let's check out these teams. This Toronto team is still crazy, but Indiana's really good too. Let's not mess that up. The 3 is obviously a glaring hole right there. I don't know if someone's injured or not, and then we've got this super young team, the Clippers. Literally all these guys I think are under 26 years old. But they're good. So Okay, so Raptors, Clippers, the young team or the KD and AD win it. All right. So that's another ring for KD. KD is going to be in some conversations. But yeah, let's take a look at our NBA record. We're gonna look at all this stuff. We're gonna look at but first we're gonna do NBA history as a whole. So most improved, Durant's won 5. He's really pushing the GOAT thing, honestly, and he just won another ring in Finals MVP. LeBron had a couple of them too. Rookie of the year, Celtics back to back, but though I think the right players won for most of these, like the players that either won in real life or like they were so good and they were maybe second in real life. Sixth man of the year, Mike Conley had a lot. Brandon Jennings for recently. DPOY, yeah. DPO LeBron 13 out of 15 years. Wade stuck in there and took a year, but I mean, literally since this was his second year, he's been DPOY. Insane work. Most improved, sure. Let's check out Coach of the Year. A couple guys have won it a couple times, but nothing like no like 4 or 5-time winners or anything like that. Past champions. So the Raptors have won a few. They've won actually 4. Pistons have also won 4. Cleveland has a year in there. Phoenix has 2 themselves. Boston and Chicago had a few. League leaders in points. Dirk's 34.7 is still the most that we have seen. Even though Levine was close that one year. And then, yeah, let's check out our NBA records now. So nobody's broken the 73 points to get in top 5 scoring of all time. Nothing here. So Curry has another 13. Oh no, that's Jamal Murray, excuse me, in 2020 who made 13 threes. Even Zach LaVine had a 12 3 made game. None of this is too recent. Rebounds, not going to happen. Assists, no, we haven't had any of these. Blocks, nothing since Mark Eaton. Steals, LeBron about 10 years ago. Minutes, nope. Turnovers, nope. Yeah. Now we go to playoffs. Zach LaVine almost broke it. He had a 60-point game in a couple playoffs ago. He almost got it. He almost beat the 61 from Elgin Baylor. I think somebody will break that for sure. Field goals made, Dwight. 3-pointers made. Bunch of people have made 11, and a couple of people have made 10, including Tatum being one of them in these past playoffs. Free throws, nothing really recently. Rebounds will not going to happen. Gilbert Arenas had a 22 assist game in 2012. Blocks. Edwin Baylor. Oh, this is the guy that's starting alongside Drummond. Steals, Iverson, and LeBron. More recently, minutes, nothing. Turnovers. Kyrie had a 10 turnover game for sure. All right. In a season, so Zach LaVine had the 9th most points in a season a few years ago with his 34-point season. Field goals made, still nothing. 3-pointers made, so 392 is the most made. LaVine just barely beat Curry from 2012. So it's so many. Free throws, nothing recently. Rebounds, nothing. Nothing for assists. Blocks. Steals. Minutes and turnovers. Points per game. Field goal percentage. So Zion. That's so crazy. As a rookie, he just did that. 3-point percentage, all us. Free throw percentage, we've had a few people do 100%. And then none of this stuff really gets touched too much. Games played. Nothing really recently. Fouls. 40-point games. So Dirk had 24 40-point games in that season. Nobody for 50. And then Kobe had 160. So, and then triple doubles in a season. Nothing, just Magic. All right. And then let's go career. So Dirk, 40,000 points. Dirk is either going to retire right now or he retired last season. Vince Carter had 34, Carmelo 33, Ray Allen 33, LeBron 32, Gilbert 31. A bunch of people hit 30. Bunch of people hit 30,000. Some players were close. Field goals made. Dirk. So Dirk got relatively close, actually. He was only about 1,000 behind, which still is a lot, of course. 3-pointers made. So Dirk took over from Peja, but Steph's still here. I would assume he's gonna be at the top sometime soon. Free throws. So Dirk actually was super close himself again. Rebounds, nothing really. Assists. No, I don't think anyone's gonna beat Magic in that. Blocks. Don't know if anyone's gonna catch Hakeem. There's nobody even really current that's still like a high overall other than LeBron. Steals. LeBron is 100% going to take this from Mike, and no questions asked. Even D Wade's down there at 7, Paul 9th. Minutes. So Dirk relatively close on a lot of these things. Turnovers. Okay. Points per game. They don't really do this stuff. All right. Now let's go take a look at. Do I want to do team records or I kind of want to do that after we do team history. So we're going to do this for every team. So the Phoenix Suns, I wish it kind of said who the retired numbers were, but they have 2 NBA championships, 31 playoff appearances. Kind of so that we're going to just see kind of who has the most NBA championships up to this point. I mean, we obviously have probably a good answer, but see if anyone is really close. 1 ring for OKC, 2 for the Trailblazers, 3 for the Warriors. Heat haven't gotten any yet. Pelicans as well, which is kind of surprising because of how good they were at once upon a time. The Magic got a couple. Minnesota. Toronto has 4. Memphis, sorry. They're a relatively new team, so that's fine with them. Same with Charlotte. So Philly has 4. They won at least one with Alonzo. Milwaukee, Washington, Chicago only has 3. So Celtics are at 17 currently. I think that means I don't know how many that means they got in. I think that means they've gotten 4 in this video, I believe. I think Larry Bird got 2, and then like Dwight Howard got 2. Clippers, Hawks, Jazz, Kings. The Knicks have 2. Lakers have only 11 because they haven't done much in a long time. They haven't done a lot since the 80s. Mavericks have 4 as well. Brooklyn has 1. I don't remember when that one was. Denver, Pacers, Pistons have 4. Houston, San Antonio, and then Phoenix. All right. Now let's look at you can look at retired jerseys. Okay. So let's do this as well then. All right, so the Sixers. So obviously, some of these are from before, like Hal Greer, not us. Billy Cunningham, not us. But Um, Alonzo Mourning was us, and then Julius Irving and Moses Malone we were here for as well. So Gilbert Arenas, I think this means he's about to get his retired. Um, so actually, let's check this out before we do this because this might. So Gilbert's about to retire. That's fine. Powell's not retiring. Yeah, we already said he had to. Brandon Roy. I'm gonna say no to Brandon Roy as well. Let's go to our. Oops, I didn't even look at Hall of Fame. So Tracy McGrady, one-time MVP, four-time champ, three-time Finals MVP. Yeah, they were part of one of the greatest teams of all time. And then Gilbert Arenas was a one-time MVP. He was a bucket, all-time, all first team 7 times. Okay. Now we can go back and look at retired. Okay, so Gilbert Arenas is now retired. Who else? So Sidney Moncrief, Marcus Johnson, Billy Owens, all was us. The Wizards. So Kobe got retired by the Wizards. He was there for 21 years. Michael Jordan. Yes, you kind of forget Michael and Kobe both spent their whole careers here pretty much. Or well, Kobe wasn't his whole career. He actually did end up leaving on his own, but pretty much their whole careers here. The Bulls got a lot. Iverson, Paul Pierce, Winston Garland, Reggie Theus, Clark Kellogg, Hakeem, Elton Brand, Kenyon Martin. All four of those guys from the Iverson, Pierce, Brand, and Martin days get retired. Hakeem, Winston Garland, and Clark Kellogg makes sense. And then Reggie Theus was a part of it early on, too. The Cavs, just Larry Johnson. That's it for them right now. The Celtics, geez. Who was any of this while we were here? They have so many. Okay, so Sean Marion, Kevin McHale, and Larry Bird. So Sean Marion's the only real difference. Obviously, Kevin and Larry got theirs retired in real life. And Robert Parrish right there too, of course. Gilbert Arenas also gets retired by the Clippers. All these players we saw play. Hawks, Dominique, yes, Joe Smith, and KG, yep. The Jazz, we saw all these guys. Chris Webber, one of the greatest players of all time. So Yao Ming gets his retired. Nate Archibald, I don't know why Nate's here. 2 different numbers, that's why. Chris Mullen, Brad Daugherty, all here. The Knicks, just Patrick Ewing. The Lakers have had Solomon, Lamar Odom, Vince Carter, Magic, Kareem, James Worthy, Jamal retired. The Mavericks retired Bibby, Peja, Mark Aguirre. These guys were all part of well, not Mark Aguirre, but those 3 were part of the dynasty that they had. Mark Aguirre was there for a long time as well. Pippen and Kemp had some great years there before LeBron. Alex English retired, Jason Richardson, and then David Robinson, was there for a long time as well. Jason Kidd, the only person for the Pacers, only spent 6 years there. Isaiah retired. Don't think he got a ring though. Jermaine retired. Then Ralph Sampson, Kevin Johnson, James Silas, and Mark Price. Well, this Allen Iverson, Walter Davis, Karl Malone, Devin Harris, Steve Smith, and then Paul Westphal. I'm just obviously naming the guys that were here when that was a part of our videos. Gus Williams, Mitch Richmond, and Jack Sikma, Penny Hardaway, Clyde. A lot of these guys are from before, though. The Warriors, so they retired Jamal Crawford, Sharif, Keith Van Horn, Chase Timmerman, and Purvis Short. Christian Laettner, only person for the Heat. Steve Nash and Dirk. Makes sense. Muhammad Abdul, Jason Kidd and Shaq, Antoine and Ray Allen, Tim Duncan and Marbury, Rip Hamilton for the Grizzlies, nothing for the Hornets. And then, yeah. All right. And now, finally, let's look at our team records. So the most points scored for the Blazers was 53. We won't be able to tell for the Warriors because Will Chamberlain existed. The most points we've seen currently is 53. I want to see what the most we've had is. So Jason Terry is the most for the Heat. So Dirk had a 57-point game. So that's the most we've seen so far. I'm not going to – you guys just kind of can look and we'll stop. So Ray Allen, 54, 52 for Lowry and Butler and Rays. Ray Allen, man, he was a top scorer when he was here. Kevin Durant, 55. Rip owns that. So the most we've seen still is 57 by Dirk. Okay, so 61 by Kobe. 61 is the most that we've seen now. Wow, 59 from Winston Garland. Jermaine Davis at 57. Nothing too crazy for the Celtics. Pete Maravich, that was not a part of us. None of that. Well, JR had a 55-point game. Randolph. Nothing for the Lakers. 58 for Levine. 55 for Braun. DeMarcus Cousins also 57. So 61 is the most that we've still seen. Yeah, because a lot of these were before us. Yeah, okay. And now we can do – well, we can also look at field goals made. I think the most we can see 3-pointers and all that. Rebounds is the thing I want to check out. So 26, 32 from Tim Duncan. Wow, the rebounding numbers from back in the day are just crazy. Kind of just want to. So 31 from Chris Webber once. 32 still the most that we've seen. Yep. Moses Malone didn't do that with us. Dwight had a 22 rebound game. Okay. So 32 is the most. Anything else? Assists and blocks. All right. Yeah, so we went through KBA history. This was a relatively short video to what you guys are used to, but we'll obviously pick it up tomorrow. You'll get your next video, but that was just going over what we have in KBA history up until this point. Make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe, and come back every afternoon. You'll get a new video of this.